Y'all, I'm learning a lot about the life of Karen Carpenter. There's a new book out titled Little Girl Blue, The Life of Karen Carpenter, a new biography about the life of the 1970s singing superstar. Randy Schmidt wrote the book. He's been doing research on Karen Carpenter's life for many, many years. Welcome to Good Morning, Memphis.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
He was just filling me in on what's in this book. And first of all, you know, we probably have a lot of folks watching who don't even know who she is. Will you fill them in briefly?
Of course. The Carpenters were the top-selling American act of the 1970s and had 16 consecutive top 20 hits from Close to You, We've Only Just Begun, Rainy Days and Mondays, Top of the World.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of hits of the 70s belong to them. And unfortunately, most people know Karen as the first celebrity to succumb to the eating disorder anorexia.
And she died from complications of that. I mean, she was more than thin. She was emaciated. She
was down to 77 pounds at one period and in therapy in New York, and really thought she was making the strides to turn her life around, and it was just too late.
She had damaged her body too much. This is billed as an uncensored account of her quest for perfection. She and her brother were the team. But did it start at home, her problems, her issues? Because obviously she had some.
Yeah, within the family there was some interesting dynamics. From the time her brother Richard was a young child, he was figured to be the musical superstar of the family, and everybody else was there to support him. They even moved, including her. They moved cross country from Connecticut to California to further his music career, and Karen began playing the drums to accentuate her brother's musical career. She just happened to have one of the loveliest voices in all of pop music history, but they didn't know at the time. And as her star began to eclipse his, it caused some interesting family dynamics, especially with Mom, who had always really supported brother's piano career.
Do you think that's what led to her never feeling like she was good enough and the anorexia and all that?
There were a lot of her friends that said she felt second best within the home, that she always felt she couldn't live up to what Richard was doing.
Okay, so what made you decide to delve into the life of Karen Carpenter, of all the people in the world?
I have never been touched by a voice in the way that I was hers. From the first time I heard it, it was something like I'd never heard before, and I wanted to learn everything I could. There was a tinge of sadness, there was that melancholia in her voice, and it intrigued me, and I wanted to learn all I could.
Yeah, I'm hearing now that you said the titles, Top of the World and Rainy Days and Mondays. Always, I can hear. She was incredible. It was a golden voice, wasn't it?
Yeah, velvety.
So she was married, but you never heard much about the husband. What happened there? You've got some inside details, right?
Well, it's interesting because she had just finished a solo album project, and it was shelved by the record label. The record label and her brother, the family, everyone encouraged her to shelve this. It wasn't worthy of release.
I see why her brother did. Was it really bad, or have you heard?
It was partly disco, and that was his request to her when she left to do this first album without him. He said, just please don't do disco. Well, she gets to New York and she's on her own, and she says, I want to do disco. I want to do something on my own, something different. Well, they ended up talking her out of releasing it. She comes out of this devastating rejection of the album, and she meets this guy, and so I kind of see it as a rebound romance. I mean, she poured heart and soul into this project. She comes out of it, it's rejected, and she falls head over heels in love with a guy that was bad news from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, he lied to her quite a bit throughout their marriage, and it was short-lived. Within a year, she was, from a beautiful 110 pounds down to about 80-something pounds.
Oh, good heavens.
It's very obvious.
I want to read the book.
Well, I hope that you do.
Okay, where can we buy the book here in the Mid-South?
I'm going to be tonight at the booksellers on Laurelwood.
Oh, super,
and I'll be signing books
known as Davis Kid. Okay.
And, it's available there and most other booksellers as well.
So you're signing the books at what time tonight?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at Laurelwood.